All right. So yes, the Jilly juice, me on the protocol, has definitely taken on a more political overtone. And I'll tell you what, two sisters that are in my group, not anymore, decided to tag team me today. Both of them very, very Democrat, and that's fine. I don't care what it is that your political party or your orientation or any belief system, I don't care if you're doing the Jilly juice and you're going off and on it. Okay, great. I'm not going to ride you. But I'm going through a process and I'm exemplifying and substantiating my process, my biochemistry. I've been through the hell and back. I've been through all the healing symptoms. I've stayed stuck with the protocol, stuck with the staying on the diet. I have dealt with the backlash, been to 2 different courts regarding my book as well as anything else. I have dealt with and answered to the media. I have done a lot. I have earned my place to have a political say in something that goes on in my world. Now, when you have somebody in your own group that is not really doing the protocol, they're doing it half-assed. They don't like the fact that, yes, I am a Republican, because that is the protocol. The protocol is Republican. It's about taking personal accountability, sticking to law and order, not sticking to emotions and living life through that reality that's all about emotions and bleeding heart, which, okay, is fine for a certain amount of time, but not indefinitely. Okay, so yes, my politics have changed because my protocol has caused a different biochemical shift. And if you want to stay with your politics and your biochemistry, you're not going to be doing the J juice at the level that you need to. And let me tell you, I had 2 ladies. One lady was just like, I didn't know I belonged to now a group that's all Republican. Okay, fine. See you later. Bye. She's not really doing the J juice anyways at the level that she needs to. She's using it as a cure. The other lady was like, well, I'm becoming more left than I am right. Totally opposite of you. Just little snarky comments. And then I'm like, well, I want to see some testimonies. She was like, well, I don't really have any testimonies because I'm not really staying on the diet. Well, okay then. So let me express my politics through my biochemistry, the J juice. And if you don't understand where I'm coming from, then maybe you should drink more juice. Okay? And so whatever, it is what it is. But I have substantiated why it is that I am backing Trump. Because you have to look at transferable skills in your leaders. Okay? You really do. And if your leaders have a track record of who they represent over time, as far as just, what they've done politically, okay, then you take a look and you juxtaposition what they've done in the past. I mean, that's kind of how you determine the future in a lot of ways, is from the past, and then what are you doing today to kind of change up the future so it's not more of the past. Now, you have to have enough traction in the past to give somebody an idea of what the future is going to be like, okay? I mean, if you're going to date a major criminal who has multiple felonies, who has murdered somebody, you're probably not going to want to marry them or bring them into your world, because you may see some of that come to surface during your time with them. So you make a decision not to engage, okay? Well, that's the same thing with any leader, even with the Jilly Juice leader. You want to see a track record. You want to see how the Jilly Juice leader handles specific things. And if it works with you, great, you'll do the protocol. If it doesn't, then you won't do the protocol. I mean, I don't force anyone to do anything. You have the information, you'll do it, just like a Republican. No one's forcing you to cater to these people. No one's forcing you to have to respond to people. No one forced you have to make them like you. You go and find your like kind and you cater to them. And if someone doesn't like you, who cares? Don't give them what they want. Okay? So it's interesting. I'm kind of glad that I've come out as far as my politics, because it's taken me a while, because I really did not know which direction I'm coming from. But I knew as soon as I took a side, someone was going to get mad at me. That's why I never took a side before. That's why I had a very much of a trouble taking sides, even early on, except for the backs, anti-vax, because I was taking sides in that. But now, as far as just like, politics, when it comes to mainstream politics, now I can comfortably take a side, because no matter what, you're going to have to take a side, life or death. Those are the two sides you're going to have to take. And then your homeland and your body. So it's life and death, homeland and body. And then it's then holding everybody accountable for their part in all of this. Okay? And then we look for evidence. Now the evidence can be spun. Not everybody is 100% responsible of why things are the way they are. But when someone said, well, look at Mitch McConnell, he represents Kentucky, and Kentucky is all crapped out. And I'm like, look at California. California is all like crapped out and having homeless and, all this other stuff. But then those two aren't even, equitable as far as the economies in each of those. Kentucky is this little tiny state that sells, I don't know, what is it, Jack Daniels or something? I don't know if that's really true, but it's not like they don't have the same economy as California. California is a huge, like its own, it's like the 7th largest economy in the world or something, right? So when you have a state like California, we have so much resources, and yet you still have homeless and environmental issues and homeless. Who the hell is in charge of that? Now, Trump has gone through the fluctuations of the market from the 80s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and he keeps reinventing himself. He's like a cockroach. He doesn't fucking die. That's what I want in somebody who is willing to keep going and pound until he gets what he needs to protect his interests. And so that's what I want to see in all of my Jilly Juice people. I don't want half-assed people, fair weather, okay, I'm going to kind of do the Jilly Juice. And then you're representing me and you're all like about, blaming and still about the environment and how everyone's polluting it and all this other stuff, instead of you saying, hey, what are you going to do to change your environment? What are you going to do to change yourself to adapt the environment? So in a lot of ways, me coming out as a Republican has now taken the fat off the top. Now I'm narrowing who it is I'm directing this information to. And it ain't the Democrats. It ain't someone that's going to blame people for their dispositions or predispositions. Who I'm going for is somebody that understands why we have the agencies. Okay? So the fact that that Trump is trying to overturn the decision as far as Monsanto says it all. If the EPA deems that Roundup never caused cancer, then okay, because I can be around Roundup and I don't get cancer. If you choose to be in a profession where you're a landscaper and you're spraying Roundup every day, you chose to be in that profession. If you want to be in a profession like landscaping, then you know what? You need to then take care of your body so you're not getting lymphoma because of your predispositions, then coupled with imbalances. And then you have an environment where you have a lot more elements every day than another person would. So then you have to figure out how, people are not going to know about J juice, but then you don't be in that profession. Oh, but I didn't know until later on. Now I want to blame. Well, they have the warnings on the box, not for ingestion. They can't tell you if it's going to cause lymphoma because they don't know what kind of predispositions you're going to trigger because of your imbalances and then being exposed to elements out there that you chose to be around. So now I can really comfortably really back up why it is that Trump embodies everything about the J juice, embodies everything about America, embodies everything that I hold dear, and why I will never be a Democrat. I will never be a socialist. Because socialism is where you are indefinitely leeching off the system with absolutely no intention to contribute on an indefinite basis. Now, Republicans don't just take away programs and say, okay, sink or swim. They have given you guys enough resources to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps and then get back on your merry way. Just like my husband said, hey, he's willing to help anybody, but for a short amount of time, not indefinitely. If somebody needs a place to stay because they're in transition between relationships, we've done that. We've given people a place to stay. We've given people money. We've helped out friends and family with money, with resources, whatever. But it's not like we're an endless cash machine, because we can't support another family plus us. Okay? And that's the mentality of the Republicans. Okay, you had a hard time, I had hard luck here and there. Okay, we'll give you a little bit of a safety net. Okay, but now, you know, it's up to you. We've given you enough of what we can, that we can afford. Now it's up to you. You've got to contribute. So I find it really, really awesome that the people that I knew in my group, my Facebook, who I knew total staunch Democrats, not liking the direction I'm taking because it's shoving a mirror in front of their face. They're not really serious about the J juice. They're doing it half-assed. They're still eating off the diet. And fine, do whatever you want, but you cannot be critical of where I'm at. If you're doing the J juice half-assed, you have no room to be critical of where I'm at on the protocol and my politics. And if you are doing J juice in a wonderful way, then you'd shut the hell up and let me represent my protocol the way I want to. And if you find it offensive, then you ask yourself why you think being Republican is offensive, especially since I have substantiated why. I'm not just following a crowd because everyone else is Republican, everyone else loves Trump. Because I'm telling you, I was tossing up between Warren because of student loans, because I have student loans, and it's very tempting to have someone say, okay, I'm going to pay them off for you. That would be awesome if someone could pay off my student loans. But that's not a reality. And I have plenty of life ahead of me to pay them off. Okay? So I substantiated why I'm a Republican and why the J juice is Republican. If that is not enough for you, if you don't understand that, then you're not going to understand J juice, and you're stuck in the Democrat principles of socialism. I can't force it out of you. It's a biochemical thing that you're going to have to figure out. I can't force you to be balanced as far as understanding where the responsible lays within. So it's so interesting. So I'm really, 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 really glad that I came out as a Republican, because that really narrows down my energies and I can see who it is I cater to. And believe me, I'm not going to go onto a Democrat page and try to say personal accountability and fight for what you believe in and fight for your way of life and fight for the Constitution and your resources and be productive and contribute, because trying to introduce J juice has the same mentality. No one's going to give you J juice and make you do it and you get the results tomorrow. It takes work. It takes energy. It takes you actually getting up off your ass and drinking it and doing it. No one's going to give you the results, but that is a socialistic mentality where someone gives you the results. Someone gives you whatever. You don't earn it. You're entitled to it. That's not the J juice way. I don't debate with people trying to convince them to do J juice, because that's the same mentality. You're going to have to comprehend J juice. And I've made it so easy with YouTube videos and written things in my book. And I get on every freaking day to try to find a different way to say the same thing, speaking to all the different listenings. And if that isn't enough, then there's nothing that's going to make you understand this type of thinking. And so definitely I'm not going to change you from being a Democrat to Republican. So I'm not even going to bother to try, because it would be a waste of my energy. So those who are Republican tendencies, that are more conservative, more bootstrap, more, personal accountability, have a good work ethic, they'll understand this. And those that are just like sitting on their ass wanting the government to give them everything, thinking that there's not enough resource, or there's so many resources and you should have access to all of them without having to do anything, you will never understand the J juice, because it means you have to work. When you have to work for J juice, it's not going to appeal to you. That's what I'm talking about, is J juice makes you work for the health that you want. It's not given to you. No one's going to do it for you. You have to do it. And that is not a socialist Democrat ideology. And so now I've finally figured out who it is I'm catering to and who I'm going to align myself with, because I'm going to have to anyways. It's either life or death, or Democrat, Republican. And if you are saying that you're Democrat, but you're taking on Republican tendencies, and maybe you're not a Democrat. Maybe you're just confused. Because we also have people who are misaligned in a body, mind, and spirit. They say they want to live, but they're doing everything else that could destroy themselves. We have those too. So maybe the J Juice is going to make you very clear on what you actually believe in and put the right label, I guess. Because some of you are mislabeled, but you don't even know it. Because you've been told your whole life, and you're living in like I was, living in California, coming from California, thinking California was like the end all be all, the center of the universe. And it's not. If anything, that's probably the worst. That's probably why I left California. Because it was killing me. The socialism was killing me. Okay? I had to leave so I can figure out who the hell I am without somebody telling me who I am. Okay? And so today's two ladies that I let go, two sisters in my group that I let go, embodied the complete opposite of J Juice. And they're gone. Because I'm not going to deal with snarky comments or overt, okay, screw you. Not going to do it. Not going to deal with it. So yes, Jilly Juice is political. And you're going to have to take a side. Before I'm like, I don't want to take a side. But you know what? You take a side of life or death. You're taking a side no matter what. You want to live versus wanting to die. So already you're taking a side with Jilly Juice because you don't want to die and end up like your friends and your family struggling with cancer, disease, chronic illness. So already you took a side by just taking on Jilly Juice. So now let's take it on another level. How are you going to embody your life that's going to represent a specific end result? Or certain characteristics, but the end result may be the same or different based upon what chemistry you apply. Because you can be a Republican, not do J Juice, and still die. But you still hold the values of Republicanism, but you just didn't put the right chemistry to your body. Okay? So if I can at least find someone that can think for themselves, who has personal accountability, who understands why we have law and order, understands the Constitution, Second Amendment, Bill of Rights, all of that, and they understand that, then it's far easier to get them to understand the J Juice, because at least they're halfway there. But if you're already a socialist and you're so resigned to dying and having someone give you a handout and giving you stuff, there's no way I'm going to take you from 0 all the way to 100. You got to meet me halfway. And the ideology around Republican is at least you're giving me 50% that you already are there. Now it's got to take you the next 50% to get you to 100% to where you understand J Juice. So that is my strategy of why I'm choosing a side and why I'm Republican, which means that anyone that fits Democrat ideology, that wants stuff given to them, doesn't want to earn anything, well, I'm not talking to you anyways. You're the ones that are my haters. You're the ones that are trolling me constantly because you're so resigned. I'm speaking to the ones that want to freaking live, that will do something about it, put their money where their mouth is. Okay? So that is my revelation. Holy shit. And I'll tell you what, you saw the wheels turning a couple weeks ago when I'm like going on freaking Facebook, just calling everybody Benedict Arnold, that's against the president. That was the start of this thought process. When I finally took myself into the political landscape, because Jilly Juice is political, because politics manifest from hormones. And if you're so far gone and you want someone to do stuff for you and you're that disabled, there's no way you're going to understand J Juice on any level. You may pay it lip service, but physiologically and biologically, it's not something you really truly adopt at the cellular level. And then when I actually come out as an actual label in our society that has triggers, you will get triggered by it. And it's a trip to watch. It's a freaking trip. So that's why I love debating now with all of this information and with all this substantiation and understanding why I am who I am, why I do the things I do, why other humans do the things they do. It makes your arguments and how you articulate your position that much more effective. When you understand why you do the things you do, you will now convey a much clearer perception of yourself so people get it and can make the changes if they want. Okay, and that's my whole point. So yeah, I'm cutting the fat just by simply coming out as a Republican. So if you think that I sold out because I'm a Republican and whatever, then you're part of the conspiracy world that doesn't understand why we have these things to begin with. So I don't even want to speak to you. So I've narrowed everything freaking down. I'm not talking to the conspiracy world. I'm not talking to the Democrats. I'm talking to someone pure Darwinism, capitalism, with a safety net for those that have hard times. Okay? But you can't be on the public dole forever. And I want someone that's willing to have indefinite life, that is not going to degrade and then turn into a socialist down the road. Okay? So even Republicans can turn into socialists when their body starts breaking down. So if we can have indefinite Republicans, indefinite life, we have an indefinitely strong America, West, UK, Australia, wherever the hell you're from. Okay, have a good day. Thanks for listening.